So you wish to know the secrets?
I am Spikeydrummer.
Alright, so I've had a whole lot of requests for some really fast double bass work. It's a really difficult lesson to teach because there's not really a whole lot to teach. You know, there's a lot of little secrets and little tidbits that will help you along your road to blisteringly fast double bass and whatnot. But in order to get there, it takes a lot of preparation, and it's kind of more on your end than it is my end as far as teaching you what to do, because you know, everybody knows it's right, left, double bass stuff, you know, and the more you practice, the faster you get. However, there are a few tips that I can give you about how to drastically improve your double bass speed. Things like, you know, the tightness of the bass, tension of the double bass pedals, what kind of double bass pedals, your seat height, and all that mess. And these are questions that I get all the time. And so I'm going to show you in this video how to practice for double bass, like a couple of routines that you can do to practice for double bass, as well as the different things that you can set your drum set up to prepare for playing into the world fast double bass. So let us begin. Alright, so the first thing that you might notice, other than the fact that this is a right left pattern, is that my feet are really far back on the double bass pedal. And that is actually one of the biggest tools that you can use while playing quick double bass, is playing further back on the bass pedal, probably near the middle of the bass or near the rear of the bass pedal. And that's why longboard pedals are so great, is because you can play on the very back of them. Because the faster you get, of course, the further back you're going to move. And that's all just a lesson in leverage. Kind of like the flying fingers technique, it works the very same way. And just like the flying fingers technique, when you're learning how to blast, you're going to notice that playing and using the rebound and the leverage like we're doing here by playing so far back on the pedal is going to be difficult. And that's okay, because you're trying to find the correct fulcrum and the speed and what's comfortable with you and your muscles and everything like that. And it takes practice and it takes time, so give this time. But playing further back on the pedal is definitely a way to find that fulcrum. And you'll know when you found it, because everything will seem like it just becomes easier all of a sudden, and you're in this, like, almost like you're in the zone, and you're not putting a whole lot of work through your ankles, but all of a sudden everything seems a whole lot easier, you know, and you're flowing and everything's on time. That's when you found that fulcrum, and it's easy to break out of the fulcrum again, but practice will definitely clear up all the issues like that. Okay, and the biggest issue to also address about playing double bass at this speed is that many people believe that it's all of one of two things. It's either all of the legs or all of the ankles. And I've had a lot of drummers tell me, you know, they prefer playing with nothing but their legs and, you know, just trying to flail it out with their legs. And other drummers believe that you can only achieve these speeds by playing only with your ankles. Well, I've done a whole lot of practicing over the years with double bass, and I've found that it's kind of a mix between the two of them. So if you notice in the video, I'm playing heels up, and my ankles are basically on a pivot, and it's not the swivel technique, and we will cover that in another video. However, this is just a standard right left double bass pattern using a lot of ankle movement on the rear of that pedal, and that the rear of the pedal is what's really enabling you to move a lot quicker, because the rebound from the bass and the pedals are pushing back against your feet. And so if you can get your feet into this mode, you know, through a lot of practice of doing a lot of right left ankle motions, you'll be able to use that rebound, and you'll just fit right in there with that fulcrum and use it just like you would the flying fingers technique with the sticks. However, just because my ankles are doing most of the work doesn't mean that my legs are just sitting still, you know, just completely static there. They are moving right left too, only they're putting very little work in. I mean, they're just basically twitching right left. And what that does is adds a little bit more downward force for the ankles. And of course, if you're sitting there trying to keep your legs completely still, you know, and working with your ankles only, you're going to wear your ankles out really quickly, or your calf muscles. And I've found that if you add that little bit of twitch with your leg, your ankles become an extension of your leg. They're able to move in unity with your legs, and it all of a sudden becomes this easy flow. And it's really tough to explain. That's why I know this is a really difficult video to kind of watch and say, oh yeah, now I know what he's talking about. It's one of those things you kind of have to learn on your own. But I will say that most of my preparation for playing this kind of style came from actually being away from the drum set. And I have a video that shows exactly how to do these leg motions and ankle motions and how to practice for them, and it's called air drumming. So if you haven't watched my air drumming video just yet, then check that out, and that'll definitely help you to play away from the drum set. So even if you don't have a drum set, or you're away from your kit, you can start preparing for playing, very quick double bass. And there's also another video called Double Bass Speed and Endurance, which has a few routines that you can practice to help improve your bass speed and endurance, which is kind of essential for playing at speeds like these. Now, let us arm your kit for battle. So now that you kind of understand what exactly we're doing as far as the double bass and how to play heels up in that mess, we are going to talk really quick about the different things that you can do to prepare yourself and your drum set for playing the faster double bass action. One of the things that I do that really help me out is I have incredibly loose double bass pedals. Like I loosen the tension all the way down, and if you got springs on your double bass pedal, then the easiest way of course is just to loosen the tension on those springs most of the way. And the reason that is, and a lot of people don't do that, a lot of people prefer the really tight tension on the double bass, but I've been there, I've done that, and I promise that the loose pedal mixed with what I'm getting ready to tell you is going to help out drastically. And it's the same kind of concept as the flying fingers when I tell you what I'm getting ready to tell you. Alright, so you got the loose bass pedals, and then you accompany it with a very tight bass head. So be sure that you tighten your bass head all the way. And of course, a way to make it even tighter and sound better is to fill it 1/2 to 3/4 full of insulation, like blankets, pillows, whatever. You have a really tight bass drum and a really loose double bass. That is what improves your rebound. And the reason that you need this rebound is because, of course, your feet can't go, that fast without the help of some sort of force pushing back. And so we're using that rebound by having the loose tension on the bass and the really tight bass head so that your bass is going to smack that bass and just bounce right back. So now that you have your double bass pedals on a very loose tension and your actual bass drum on a very very tight tension, and you've got it filled with pillows and blankets or whatnot, then the next step is to have your drum stool set so that you are sitting a little bit higher than normal. I'm not sitting with my legs straight out like a lot of drummers sit. I sit with my legs kind of pointing down a little bit. Not too much, but just kind of giving your legs, like the top of your legs, a bit of a slope forward. Alright guys, so I hope this lesson helped you out with a little bit of double bass work. I very much enjoyed it. However, I believe it's time to let you know that it is time where I'm going to close a chapter in my life, and that chapter is metal. You have no idea the world of music that country has to offer. So I sit here before you a changed man. I'm enlightened.